Now, Republicans realize that Project 2025 and all these ideas are wildly unpopular, or at least they're beginning to, which is why today Donald Trump is desperate to try to separate himself from it all. Trump does not want people to know about the entire vanguard of extremist weirdos around him and what their little plans are for when he governs. With the Project 2025 plans lying in plain sight, they are panicking in a comically preposterous and fraudulent way. Donald Trump posting today, I like this, he knows nothing about Project 2025 and has no idea who is behind it.
It's Ken Harbaugh with Against All Enemies on the Midas Touch Network. It's not often we take victory laps here. The work to save democracy is far too urgent. But I think it's fair to say that the only reason Donald Trump felt the need to disavow Project 2025 is because we collectively have been raising the alarm about what a disaster this plan would be for America if implemented. Now the Trump campaign is in damage control mode because the American people do not want what the architects of this plan are proposing. It runs over 900 pages, but here are just a few highlights, if you can call them that. A national abortion ban, guns in classrooms, prosecution of political opponents, pardoning the January 6th insurrectionists. There are over 900 pages of this. It is nightmare fuel for those who care about democracy. And as far as the former president's assertion that he knows nothing about Project 2025, it is a bold-faced lie.
Here's the thing, the group behind it all is the Heritage Foundation. You see that their logo and the scrim behind him? We all know Trump spoke to them while he was president. And Paul Dans, a former senior aide in the Trump administration, is the director of Project 2025. Ken Cuccinelli, the Cooch, Trump's former acting deputy Homeland Security Secretary, who aggressively pushed anti-immigrant policies, wrote a chapter in the manifesto. John McEntee, Trump's one-time White House personnel director, a guy very close to him, around him all the time, is a senior advisor. He's been doing some vetting of a personnel database to see who they're going to staff the government with. So if Trump has no idea who is behind it, he is far too senile to be allowed to continue his campaign. Either that or he's lying.
Some of Donald Trump's closest advisors are behind this plan. His own campaign press secretary appears in a promotional video about Project 2025, and the head of the Heritage Foundation openly describes Project 2025 as a plan to institutionalize Trumpism. We did a full video about that recently. Here's a clip from it.
The work of the Heritage Foundation was to institutionalize Trumpism. Trumpism as a new version of conservatism, a conservatism that recognizes that by every objective measure, the United States is weaker in 2024 than it was in 1984. We also happen to think that's reversible, by the way. We're ultimately optimists. And by institutionalizing Trumpism, what we're saying is that even though we are known as Ronald Reagan's think tank, I'm a son of the Reagan Revolution, I'm very proud of that, that's 40 years ago. And we need to understand what time it is in America. And right now, Donald Trump, whether someone likes it or not, I happen to like it, is the standard bearer for conservatism.
Hi, everyone. It's Ken Harbaugh, and I need to take a short break here to ask all of you watching and listening for a quick favor. I am starting my own YouTube channel at team_Harbaugh, where I'll be posting videos regularly, including bonus content. It's a great place to find both Burn the Boats and Against All Enemies episodes, including the full archive. That's going to take a while to upload, but it's all going to live there. I could really use your help growing the channel. Please consider subscribing today. The link is in the show notes, or just search for team_Harbaugh on YouTube. I really appreciate the support. Everything we do here depends on you. Thanks so much. On one hand, it's probably a good thing that Trump has disavowed Project 2025. It means we have done our job in making it a political liability for the former president. But if you think disavowal is going to do anything to stop the plan's architects from doing everything they can to make their dark vision for America a reality, think again. First of all, Donald Trump is fully on board, regardless of the distance he's now trying to put between himself and the Heritage Foundation. And second, the people behind this plan are not ordinary bureaucrats or think tank academics. They don't see Project 2025 as simply a set of ambitious policy prescriptions. This is a manifesto. It reads in places like a religious text. Some of its authors are actual Christian nationalists, and they believe they are in a holy war, which means they are not above visiting violence upon this country to achieve their ends. I spoke with Lee McGowan about this, and you have got to hear her take. First, here's Kevin Roberts, president of the Heritage Foundation, discussing his Second American Revolution. My conversation with Lee McGowan is right after.
That we are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
Lee, that is chilling stuff coming from the head of what used to be one of the most respected conservative foundations, think tanks in the country. He is basically saying, nice democracy you have there if you can keep it.
Yeah, well, he's also speaking in what women would recognize as rapist talk. You know, he's saying, look what you made me do. You know, you'll only get hurt if you don't lie there and take it. Like he's saying it's will be the left's fault if it's violent. He's absolutely saying, I'm going to be violent, provided you don't roll over. And it is the thing about this man, and he's been all over the media lately, is the casual, chilling coldness in which he says the things that he says. Yes, we will be getting rid of way more of those people. Yes, there is a way to be. And we have to remember that Project 2025 is completely anti-environment, completely anti-gay, completely anti any other religion except Christianity. It is talking about purging people that aren't loyalists and staying true to their cause. And it really reads like modern day Mein Kampf. And we can't pretend that that's not what it is. The way this man speaks about it is, I think chilling is exactly the right word that you used, because they're not kidding. They're telling us exactly what they're going to do. And we can't say, well, it won't be that bad. It will be that bad. It'll be that bad and worse. And, we won't have the Mark Milles and the Espers anymore to get in the way of someone like Trump saying, well, can't we just shoot them all? Like, why can't we just shoot them to get out of my way? And they're like, those are peaceful protesters. Like, first of all, those are your citizens and you're their president. Secondly, we don't shoot peaceful protesters. And thirdly, like, bro, what are you talking about, right? Like, he doesn't want anyone like that anymore. They want them to be like, yes, sir, absolutely, sir. Because I'm telling you, we protest. We will protest. If that happened, we would protest. And all they have to do, to speak to your Handmaid's Tale allusion earlier, is shoot a bunch of us once. Take out 500 of us at a protest. I can promise you there won't be a lot of protests after that, because we'll be afraid. And then we'll be a country that lives in fear of our leader. And we won't be able to replace our leader anymore, which is how they live in Russia. You have elections, but we know who's going to win. It's how they're functioning in Hungary. It's how they're functioning. Get rid of the media that says anything bad about you. Get rid of anyone who speaks out against you. People fall out of windows. You take your political rival, put him in a gulag, and all of a sudden he's dead. Oh, what happened to him? This is how close we are to what we're talking about. And you don't have to look in history to see it. It's happening today, all around the world. And Trump made an allusion the other day that he was going to make North Korea, China, and Russia great again. And I thought, oh, come on. Like, how more obvious can we be? It doesn't matter what your political persuasion is at this point. You have to say, am I American? And what does that stand for? And it cannot be this.
That was Lee McGowan, also known as Politics Girl on Twitter and TikTok. My full interview with her comes out soon on Burn the Boats. And by the way, if you think her warning about the American military being ordered by a future President Trump to shoot protesters is hyperbole, here's a reminder from none other than Mark Esper, Trump's own former Secretary of Defense.
He says, can't you just shoot them? Just shoot them in the legs or something. And he's suggesting that that's what we should do, that we should bring in the troops and shoot the protesters.
The commander-in-chief was suggesting that the U.S. military shoot protesters.
Yes, in the streets of our nation's capital. That's right.
Thanks, everyone. One last reminder, please click the link in the show notes below to my YouTube page at @team_Harbaugh. I could really use your help boosting that subscriber count. Thanks so much.